I wanted to make something like xampp, but using more customizable technology. These are the timecodes for the video. The tutorial ends at specific notables. I took a lot of inspiration from this website, and this is what is on the website. So first you have the services, so we're going to make a web one, has the nginx, and it takes from the volumes of source on your computer and puts it in the var www.html, and then also the default config file and puts it in its right place. Then we also have a link to the php-fpm. That's the next container, which is the php 8 fpm, and it also has access to the source and at the same location. I wanted to integrate this with a network that I've already set up, so each one of them has a network backend on the end of each container. Then I defined the network. The backend connects to the pre-existing network named dev, and it is external because it's pre-existing. I also named my containers PHP and www. This is how the PHP and the nginx are linked. This is a plug for my GitHub project, and I hope you guys contribute. The website I'm making is a very similar to one that I made in college, so I know I'll be able to complete it. It's called Copy Website, and it's a local website that you can post things, and it's kind of like a social media if there is only one person on it, and that's you. And you just copy from one computer and paste in another, basically. After following the website and getting the Docker files made and all the folders made, you just run docker compose up, and then you can open the website. And then we're going to switch to another computer where I have my Visual Studio Code and Git running. We're going to use git branch to see which branch we're in. Then we use git checkout to change the branch to dev. We're going to change something in the file, something real simple. Then we use git add and the directory that we're currently in. We commit it and we add a message that explains our change. Then we use git push, and it shows us which branch has been updated. Then we move back to the other machine. I'm going to show you an example of using git stash and taking it back out to pull an update. So git stash apply puts back the changes that I made off screen, and it says post something now when we refresh the page. Then to take it back out, I use git stash, and then I use git pull dev, which returns an error because that's not the right code. So then we just do git pull. Then I check the website again, and it hasn't changed like we did on the other laptop. Then I use git checkout dev, which brings us to the dev branch, and refresh the page, and it has changed to explore the projects. Here are some notable things on my journey of getting this to work. Alpine images are better because they're smaller. They also have shell commands like ping. This allows me to test whether things are connected better than just guessing in my Docker Compose file. This is a warning for all of you out there. If you misspell networks, it won't work right. But it works perfectly if you just spell it right the first time. In the default.conf file, we use a php-fpm.local, and this is a multicast DNS. Using it on Wi-Fi is not super reliable, but it does link your PHP and your nginx. Volumes are a little confusing because if you update on your host computer, they seem to update just fine, but if you update inside the container, it just doesn't push it to the computer, which is okay as well. Here's what I learned about Git, and the git add is the period is for the current directory. Commit is a -m and then a message that will put it to be pushed. and when you do git push, it pushes it to GitHub. Git branch is just an informational thing, and then git pull is the correct way. It's not git pull main. And then git stash is a way to save your changes, local changes that you have made. And git stash apply is to put them back once you've pulled it back down. Git merge is still a mystery to me. I'm not sure exactly what it does. Git checkout allows you to change branches, and git checkout -b and then a branch name allows you to create a new branch. If you're deciding to do this from scratch, then I would suggest use the Docker Compose file from Nano Ninja. It is beautiful. It has nginx, PHP, php-myadmin, and MySQL database management. It is a great start. It's basically xampp, but in Docker Compose. My final tips and takeaways from this Docker Compose project is people don't use Docker like a system computer. You don't install two things on the same thing. So we have nginx and PHP do not mix. You can try finding people who've done it and they got it working, but it's kind of hard to replicate it for yourself. And then you can also use a multicast DNS before you set up a personal DNS, and I'll show you an example of it before I go. So I just need the name of my other machine, in this case Thomas laptop.local, and then it pops up. Sometimes it takes a couple seconds before it loads, but it does load. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.